Hello again, I am Jim Bob. Welcome back to Season 2 of Prison Architect. And the footage you're seeing at the moment is sped really fast. This is because I actually recorded 3 or 4 episodes in quick succession. And then when I went to actually edit them and get them ready for that, the microphone had a lot of audio crackle and distortion in it. I don't know what caused it. And everything's been fine since. I've since recorded other stuff with no issues. It's just that one little spell of recording I did in one sitting that seemed to have just been completely corrupted. So I'm not entirely sure what caused it, but everything seems to be okay now. So what you're seeing is basically the construction of an expansion to our prison. We needed to increase our prisoner capacity, and I wanted to create a large medium security block. So you can see that we've drawn in some basic cell areas there. We've created a kitchen and canteen, and then underneath that we're adding in some areas for cleaning, laundry, and a library and a shop, and also a chapel as well. And then what I'm doing here is mapping out where I'm going to start putting the new entrance to our prison. We're going to build that in sections and in stages. It's going to be a while before that's finished. We're putting in a little utility shed up here. And because we have limited space, I'm not putting utilities in the medium block. So we've got a large area for a large area for a yard. That'll obviously get divided up into little bits here and there. And this is me looking at putting in a medical bay. I do actually go back and add in a medical bay into a very small one into our medium block, just for safety and security purposes. So you can see construction of the block itself is starting to take shape. We're adding in all the piping here for the toilets, for where they're going to go in, and also for the shower blocks as well. Running the pipes up. The problem with perimeter walls is they stop you from actually building through the wall. So this is why we have some people moving through. You can see one of our prisoners getting killed in a fight there. This is why we're moving the sort of pipes and electricals, out to the side and then up and around, rather than just building straight up through the wall. When you have a perimeter fence, you can't do that. You can't build underneath them. So that's why we have to go through the kind of entrance way into that section and follow the path through, because there'll be perimeter walls around all the way around there. You can see we've added in a few different items to make a couple of cell blocks, and then we immediately go in and clone the area to speed up construction. And we do the same again there with our shower blocks. Now it's time to work on the kitchen area, so you can see all the refrigerators going in, all the cookers, the sinks, into the canteen with our serving desks, tables. And you can see I actually misjudged the size a little bit, so we actually had to chop a bit of space off, which then meant that the planned areas I had below that for my chapel weren't the right size, so we'll have to address that later as well. Quick intake of some new prisoners just to get our numbers back up, so we're earning some more money. And then the idea up here is to create a little solitary block for our medium security guys, and next to that, opposite that, we'll have our kind of security offices and so on and so forth. So we'll have like a kennel, an armory, a staff room, and a small security room as well. At some point in the future we will be looking to add in CCTV footage, maybe even automatic doors as well, and that'll be a place where we can control all of that. Let's see, what are we talking about down here? You can see I've added in all the rest of the solitary block, and now creating the armory, the kennel, the security room. I'm unlocking some more policies through bureaucracy, so we can get the CCTV monitors, etc. in. Putting our staff room in, and then powering everything up. And here goes our shop. So we have a shop front, a table for everything to be stored on, some shelves for all the equipment to be put on once it's in. And then there's our library. Now it'll be a while before our library actually gets used, and that's due to education levels. We need to build classrooms, and that's part of what's going to go up where we built that utility shed. There's our chapel. We'll put that in. We'll need to really create a program for that in the future. I'm not going to do it for a while just to save a bit of extra cash, but eventually we'll have spiritual guidance courses available in there. And here is our medium security block med bay. So we've got just a couple of little morgue cells or morgue slabs, and then putting in some medibays there. And then we're creating a small common room area. And then I decided to actually put a psychologist's office in there as well. So you can see everything's just getting repositioned just to make enough space for the minimum size requirements for our psychology office. And we can run behavioural therapy. Creating the yard here, so you're putting in the workbenches, or the weight benches, sorry. Some regular benches, some phones, some tables as well for people to sit at. Getting everything powered up and lit up. And then putting in some fencing just to create a perimeter around our area. Just bumping up our intake a little bit more. The perimeter wall has been established all the way around that block now. Now we're just classifying all those areas so that they can start being used, so creating them as official rooms. And then zoning in the different areas as well, so we're making sure that staff areas are for staff only, and putting in the zoning to make the rest of it medium security. That'll automatically transfer any medium security prisoners over in a shared cell into the medium specific block until we run out of space in there. The initial plan when I did this was to then create or convert what was left over in our first block to make that our new psychiatric / maximum security facility. But as you'll find out later on, that becomes kind of an impossibility. So that was the plan behind creating it. And you can see with logistics there, we're just allocating which canteen is going to deal with which areas. Just keeping an eye on what's going on in our prison. And everything's pretty much up and running now. You can see the shop there, some people getting moved in. Getting logistics up and running to make sure that people are using the various different areas, as you can see. And then doing a shakedown to try and search for contraband, such as weapons, narcotics, tools, so on and so forth. So we managed to actually clear everything out, which is quite nice. But of course, that didn't last for very long. Immediately they started to fill back up again. So that's the end of our kind of sped up catch up, and we'll get on with a brand new recording. So there we go. That's you all caught up on everything that's gone on since you were last with us. So it's 4:30 in the morning here, as you can see. Let's check all of our prisoners in here, see if we've got any spaces left in this block. Looks like all of those cells are in use. Just double checking for empty cells along here. They all look to be full. Our psych ward is also full. So it looks like we should have one guy. Yes, we've got one guy here who's in holding. Although I get the feeling he's waiting to be allocated somewhere else. He's in handcuffs. I'm not entirely sure why. So that would suggest that he should either be in solitary or he should be assigned to a cell. But we have our first block set in, and we have a nice bit of cash. So let's go ahead and let's put our second block in. So we're going to go to clone. And we're going to clone sections of the prison. I don't want to go right from that corner. I want to go from that corner like that. And let's drop in that section there. And then we'll do the same again here and here as well. And now that we've got that done, we can start to draw in our cells. So let's start there and draw like, let's see, we want them in blocks of 5, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. In fact, actually, I've noticed that when you do a clone, sometimes the doors don't work properly. They're the wrong way round. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to clone 2 cells first of all. And make sure that everything is working absolutely fine there. Like that. And let's drop those 2 in. Let's speed time up. And you'll notice as well now that we actually have our contraband display showing. This is because we unlocked bureaucracy through intelligence. Sorry, intelligence through bureaucracy. Which allowed us to actually get that breakdown on the contraband levels and, you know, the weapons, tools, narcotics and luxuries. So here come all of our guys here. What we're going to do is, additionally, I'm going to... What else am I going to do? Yeah, guard deployment. I'm going to deploy a guard in here, just so that he can keep everything unlocked. And we see we have extra prisoner intake. Those 4 prisoners that we had that were not in cells are now in. So our holding area here is now going to be full. But if anyone gets released, then obviously they will move from here into the relevant cell. So you can see we have flashing symbols in here. We need to put CCTV in. We'll probably end up doing that in the next episode. I want to try and increase our prison capacity a little bit more. I want to sort of really put a stress test on this kitchen and make sure that we are producing enough. So to give you a quick tour of everything we've got, then we have our cell block here. And there's one other thing actually I want to build. Something I was thinking about this morning actually while I was editing all that footage, and that's to actually just make things a little bit easier on our prisoners' bladders. We're going to put in a block of toilets just here. So I'm going to go to planning and just start drawing in some toilets. I want to make sure that we only need actually not to be too high, so we can actually take those bits out like that. But we're going to eat up this section here of the yard just to allow us to do that, which means we'll need to just push that bench across just a little bit, and same with that one there. There we go. It's going to shrink the size of our yard, which may be slightly problematic. Hopefully it won't be too much of an issue. Rooms, I want to strip that section out like that. Oh, we've got a big fight breaking off here, look. Slow time right down. I can see at least 2 people dead, and they look like they're both guards. And we've got some loose keys here as well. We need to set guard response. Try and get as many guards over there as possible. This is the risk when you run at triple speed like that, is that, you know, something kicks off and you miss it. So let's see, we've got injured prisoners, we've got injured guards, we've got a dead guard here, we've got another dead guard here by the look of it. Is that even a dead doctor as well? No, it's just got 2, 3 dead guards. 4 dead guards. Oh, that's not good. We need to boost our prison staff in. So let's immediately hire some more guards, and let's hire another 6 guards to get them in as replacements. What we also need to do is we need to get our classroom built as quick as possible so we can start rolling out tasers. We have the equipment placing, but we can't actually roll tasers out until we have a classroom, because, you know, this is a 1-hour certification course to be given a taser. So let's finish this area off here. Water supply. Need to add in some small pipes. So we're going to have pipes running up here, like so. And then we're actually going to have an entrance just there. So that won't be a block, that'll actually be a doorway. And let's go to equipment, etc, etc. So first off, I want to go to walls and doors and put my door in. I'm just going to put a standard door in, just there. And then we're going to put doors on each of the cubicles, just for a little bit of privacy. Like that. Now we want to go to objects and go with toilets. And this is something I just found has been quite a helpful little thing, is that generally you tend to have, especially if your schedule has a lot of activity and very little sort of free time in between, so going from sort of you know, getting up, going straight to work for several hours, and then going straight to lunch, and then going straight back into work sections, and then going back into yard time, and then lunch, dinner, and so on and so forth. If you don't have time for prisoners to be able to get to toilets, then they will inevitably just, you know, start making a mess everywhere throughout your prison. Actually, you don't want that one there, do I? There we go. And just to further illuminate that, we'll do that like that. I'm also going to hire an extra 5 workmen now that we've got a larger prison, because we will still have to carry out general repairs on the on the prison itself, as well as building new facilities and extensions and expansions and so on and so forth. So having a slightly larger workforce actually makes a lot of sense. We can see the aftermath. We've got 2 unconscious guards, prisoners there. You can see the ambulance is waiting, so we must have our dead bodies being transported down, I imagine. Yep. There's one being carried. Looks like they took them all the way to the other morgue, which seems like a bit of an odd choice. I want to check, actually, I've still got enough medical staff, so we might have to hire more doctors as well. I think we only have the 2 at the moment. Yeah, we do. So we better add an extra couple of doctors in. Let's add in... where's our medical ward? Let's add in 2 up here, like so. Geronimo, is he new? Oh, yeah, we added in some new ones, didn't we? Andrew Synod Geronimo, criminally insane. Pled not guilty to manslaughter, 21 years sentence. The callous Andrew Geronimo was a cleaner prior to his crimes. The Secret Service finally tracked him down to the military base wearing combat gear and wielding an automatic weapon. The authorities are grateful that he's behind bars and expect him to be a threat to all around him. Geronimo's message to the prison staff is, let the games begin. Lovely! So we have a true nutcase in our as part of our guys there. I wonder, do we still have Loki? Is he still within us? Let's have a look. That's Ryan Expert, Cervantes, Liam Lindsay, Callahan, Felix Logan, Grimsby Dreadful. Oh, I've got to look at someone called Grimsby Dreadful. The infamous Grimsby Dreadful was a gang leader prior to his crimes. Bounty hunters finally tracked him down at an undisclosed location wearing night vision goggles and wielding a samurai sword. His social media followers are up in arms that he's behind bars and expect him to be admired among his inmates. Dreadful's message to the family is, I'll see you soon. I wonder if this guy's a gang member then. He's only doing 3 years for video game piracy. He's prone to violent outbursts, and he's also prone to being hyperactive. Okay, so he's definitely one we've got to be very wary of. Everything seems to have calmed down over here. I haven't seen Loki. That's Lacey up there. There's Geronimo. Chislett. Looks like they've been taken to our security wing here. I mean, these guys, that should be... Let's go over to security sectors. Yeah, that should be a minimum... sorry, a medium security. And so should that, really. And so should our kitchen there. And obviously that needs to be medium security. Everything here pretty much needs to be medium security. And that needs to be staff. There we go. Okay, so everything now is looking pretty much as it should in that respect. It just means that all those guys that we wheeled all the way up the top there are now going to get wheeled all the way back along again. So there you can see Chislett is being dragged all the way back. Our toilet block is starting to take shape. Once all the toilets and pipes and doors and everything are in, then we'll start adding the walls in, and then that place will be finished. Could probably do with doing another shakedown pretty soon as well. Let's see. Everything's not too bad at the moment. Obviously, losing those guards was a bit of a blow. But these cells are now operational, so we have an extra 2 people here, as you can see, allocated to this block. So let's go ahead and actually build in the rest of this block as well. So let's go back to clone. And I need to define my area, which is going to be like that. And I'll just start dropping in these. Actually, I just want to open this door quickly and just double check. Yes, that is opening the right way. And check that one. That's opening the right way too. So now I know that that's working. I can... oh, no, I want to be on clone first. There we go. I can actually draw a block of 3 cells. 1, 2, 3. There we go. We'll complete that to a block of 5 like that. And now we'll draw a full block of 5. No, I want it to be on the... there we go, 1 down so I don't get in the metal detectors. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And hopefully I won't pick up the laundry baskets in this. Oh no, I am picking the laundry baskets up in this. Ah, that's not good. Alright, let's do it from the bottom here. So that's 3, 4, 5. Like that. We'll put these bottom blocks in. So I want that one to go there. And I want that one to go there. And then that one to go there. And all of a sudden we have no money. This is where building can become very, very expensive. You see, we just wiped out all of our money by ordering all the parts we need to build these cells. So it's going to be a little while before we can actually finish off our toilet block, which is a little bit of a shame. Let's see, we can actually add in some extra prisoners. Let's bring in 3 more prisoners. That'll bring in a little bit more cash. The intake closes in half an hour. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So in a few minutes, well, not even a few minutes, just a few seconds, we'll get an extra 3 prisoners in, which will give us some extra cash, and I can actually start building the walls on this toilet block, which I'd kind of like to get done pretty quickly. Oh, and the money's gone instantly. It's instantly been spent on brick. So, yeah, we are definitely going to have to hope that we can make some decent money. I'm going to have to speed time up and just kind of whiz through. Hope nothing major kicks off. Let's keep an eye on things up here. See if we can see if anything does kick off. We can immediately slow time down and try and bring, you know, guards in to help respond to the situation. Desperately need to get tasers into the prison, I think. now that we're starting to get a much larger population. And we are going to have to get a second psychiatrist office done at some point soon as well. Actually, are there any grants that we can take out that will give us a little bit of extra cash? Cell block C. Raise capacity to 100, and that gives us a 10 grand advance payment. Let's take that. Okay, and we actually have a little bit of cash. So let's put those walls in. Like so. Just got a little block of 9 toilets here on the edge of the yard. Let's prioritise these walls. Like that. So these jobs will hopefully get done before everything else. Speed time back up again. We have 4 cooks running around in there. Do we have any in this one? We have 2. No, 1. Yeah, there's 2. There's the second one there. So we do have staff in both canteens. That's good. And you can see the long trek to bring all those supplies around. And there go the cleaners just cleaning up the area. Our walls should be coming in any moment. See, there's a kind of still a kind of a delay as stuff is delivered in. We could actually do with putting in a larger delivery area. So let's go to rooms. Let's go to deliveries. And let's make this area a little bit bigger, just so we can get those trucks up and running, moving through a little bit faster. Like so. This area should start filling up really quickly. It also means that while we have all these building supplies, we still have space for things like food deliveries and books, etc. to come in. But you can see how quickly this space is filling up. And here's our construction materials. Let's put a guard dog in here. Let's put 2 in there actually. Yeah, that should do. Just looking around to make sure everything seems to be going okay. Potential tunnel found in the main sort of yard area over here. I don't think that's anything to worry about. But we are going to do a shakedown as soon as it gets to around about 1 o'clock in the morning. Obviously we're going to have a much larger prison to search this time than we did the last time we did a shakedown. So it'll take longer. Although we do have more guards, which will obviously help counteract the increased time. Still waiting for the relevant materials for our toilet block. Hopefully construction of that will get done overnight. And now it's time to do our shakedown. So we're going to slow time down a bit. When I do a shakedown, I like to slow time down a bit, and I like to zoom in so that if any tunnels are found, if I stay zoomed in like this, any tunnels that are found will generally immediately flash up on the side of the screen. But you'll also notice sometimes they don't. But if there is a tunnel in a cell, you'll have a lack of cell integrity. So you'll actually get... We've got a fight breaking out somewhere. Bailey not happy about his cell being searched. He's trashed his bed and his toilet and his radio. The only thing he's left untouched is his bookshelf there. Is anything else kicking off anywhere else? Now, as I was saying, if we get a cell that has an issue, you'll generally see one of these sort of exclamation triangles here to say that it's an incomplete cell. That means, oh, there we go. Look at that. We have a huge tunnel. Absolutely huge tunnel. That's where it originated. And I don't think they managed to get all the way down there. But I'm going to slow time down. I'm going to find a guard dog. Where's our kennel over here? Do we have any dogs in the kennel waiting to be used? We have one. I'm going to actually bring this down here and sniff. The sniffing is kind of automatic, but if there is a tunnel that goes through that wall then and comes out somewhere around here, that guard dog should immediately kind of detect it. And obviously we're going to have to fix this tunnel as well. Yep, no tunnel. Okay. So to fix the tunnel we need to go to demolition. And we actually have a where is it? A remove tunnels option here. So we need to remove those tunnels like that. And this is what I mean. As I was saying, you can see these cells now all have exclamation warnings because I can see there they are no longer enclosed, surrounded by walls and doors. So that's always a good guideline. If you do get a tunnel pop-up that you miss, that's a great way to immediately kind of spot it. So if I just check over everything else over here, no other tunnels, everything else over there seems to be fine. But yeah, we will need to get staff in very quickly, so I'll prioritise that job. They haven't even built the toilet block there, but they should immediately, hopefully, come across and start dealing with this issue. Let's speed time up a little bit more. I like to kind of try and get this done before we end the episode, so we're going to run a little long. But there we go, you can see they're fixing the tunnel. And let's just check this guy's... Let's check Castle. Frank the Punisher Castle. Well, look at that. We have a celebrity. We have Frank Castle. Oh, we've got a fight. Oh, we've lost another guard. Another guard is dead. Looks like we've probably lost 2 guards, actually, so we're going to have to hire more staff. This isn't good. We're actually starting to get staff killed on a semi-regular basis. Hiring 2 more guards there. Desperately need to get those pages up and running. Sorry, not pages, tasers. Okay. Well, our tunnel is fixed. We still haven't built our toilets. We are still constructing our extra bits over here. So we're going to end the episode here. Thanks for watching. In the next episode, hopefully this construction will be finished. And we'll also have finished the construction here. And then we'll look at building in our classrooms so that we can get tasers rolled out as quickly as possible to all of our guards. Help keep them alive a little bit longer. We'll also try and keep an eye on Mr. Frank Castle as well. So thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I will see you with some more Season 2 of Prison Architect very soon.